you decide you're going to be celibate. Everyone you've ever crushed on or even like eyed as a lady, you can't approach someone as a lady, but everyone, you like most people who are on the top of the list who you've ever crushed on and you always felt like these are the perfect people for me, they will start coming to you. The ex, that one ex that you fumbled, that one ex, this one was good for me, but here I fumbled. He will DM you, even if it has been 3 years since you talked. I'm starting to understand why the Bible talks about when you become a Christian or when you've been let, like demons have been let out of you and you don't fill that space with something else, they will go and get their uncles and sisters and their cousins and they will come back so much more. Hi Soul Tribe and welcome to Pheebs Limitless. This is where we shop as our most authentic selves and your soul finds its friends. How have you been, guys? How have you been? We are shooting this at night, the night of 23rd of August. So how has your August been? How has your August been, guys? I hope you've been well. My August has been full of trials and tribulations. Yo, guys, I'm telling you, that is why I'm here today. By the way, I don't have, as you can see, I don't have a book, I don't have a Bible, I don't have a lot to refer to. Today we are going to talk about everything based on a true story or based on my experience. So let's begin our 4th episode of our ongoing journey. By the way, guys, today I'm shooting at night. I decided to test how my camera will be at night so that maybe we can go faster. I can even be shooting on weekdays after work. So tell me how you think about the quality today. For me, I can see it's good. It's even better than how it usually is during the day. So but tell me first in the comment section how your August has been. We started this journey on August 1st. I remember the first day. August 1st started on a Friday. So I shot the first episode on the 2nd on a Saturday. And since then I've been shooting on a Sunday, man. So I'm trying to adjust my schedule. If possible, I can be posting even twice a week. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So tell me about what you think about today's quality in terms of sound, in terms of lighting, in terms of camera. Yeah, tell me. So today is the 4th episode. We are cruising nicely. Last Sunday I did not post. I am sorry about it. I don't know whether I'm going to post this one on a Sunday. So if I don't post on today again, I'm sorry. But from next week, we are resuming our schedule. By Sunday at 2 p.m. we will have uploaded every video, or even twice a week. We're going to see how we're going to adjust that. So today's episode is called Tools to Maintain Your Highest Frequency. And today's reflection is based on our last episode. We talked about aligning our frequency or our vibration to the things that we want. You can't expect to have $1 million when you're having a $2 habit or a $1 habit. So okay, it is one thing to say that we're going to do it. It's another thing that is completely different of maintaining what you start. And this is where I'm going to tell you my story, guys. We talked about being authentic, and I am going to be vulnerable today and give you that authentic part of me. So, as you know, I have been having a problem with coming to YouTube, starting something, and then in the middle of it, I leave or I get busy and I stop. And last week I did not post, and I was so afraid that I have started falling on that hole again. So this is what has been happening. You remember there's a time I told you, when you give yourself to start a new life, the old life starts chasing you like, yay. I'm telling you, like, if, for example, I'm going to give you my own example. Like, you decide you're going to be celibate. Everyone you've ever crushed on or even like eyed as a lady, you can't approach someone as a lady, but everyone like most people who are on the top of the list who you've ever crushed on, and you always felt like these are the perfect people for me, they will start coming to you. The ex, that one ex that you fumbled, that one ex, this one was good for me, but here I fumbled. He will DM you. Even if it has been 3 years since you talked, he starts to DM you, and you're like, oh my God, what is wrong with this? What is happening to me? Like, the one time I've decided to change my life forever and to take a new direction of my life, that's when everything you wanted in your previous life starts chasing you. And I'm telling you, it's not easy to maintain that journey. I'm starting to understand why the Bible talks about when you become a Christian, or when you've been let, like demons have been let out of you, and you don't fill that space with something else, they will go and get their uncles and sisters and their cousins, and they will come back so much more. So, like, you have to make sure that you are so stable on what you've decided, so that you don't fall. So I'm not saying I fell, but that thing really destabilized me, because I'm like, oh my God, what if I am letting go of the one thing that this is my happily ever after? But again, if something is not aligned with God or what you want, it is not worth sacrificing anything for. So if, for example, if you've decided that you're going to be celibate or date celibate, even if you're going to date celibate, and this person who was like your perfect, like the image of your perfect boyfriend or girlfriend, and they come and they are not aligned with that goal, it is not worth letting go of your journey. So I decided that I'm going to share that with you. And also, like, there's so many things connected to it. Like, when I've decided that I'm going to do consistently my YouTube channel, a lot of things come by, like work becomes, pressure comes. And I think this is where a lot of people give up, because letting go of your past and letting go of something you are so used to is not easy. That's why we have to discuss how are we going to make sure that we maintain the frequency that we've decided that we are going to operate on. And the thing that makes it hard for you, it's because, imagine, like, the journey you've been on, like it's like you've, how do I say it? You have smoothened that route by going there through the same routine over and over. So the journey is so smooth. Like, doing those things, it's so smooth. Like, if it's a routine, you've been used to the same thing. So it's so easy for you to slide. If you can even slide, you don't have to like climb. You can even, like, it's just like a downward slope, which is so easy for you. But when you're starting something afresh and you're changing your mindset, the things that you used to think about will still cripple in your mind. So it is for you to be very cautious and to make a very tough decision. And the first enemy you're going to encounter when you start changing your life is you're going to realize you don't have many enemies. You have one big enemy, which is you. And once you conquer yourself, I have not reached there yet, but I'm telling you, I know it's not easy. And that is the whole point why I started this series. Before I do any other project, or I do any other, like, whether it's a podcast, that is why I decided that I'm going to do this, because I'm going to fall and I'm going to rise. And I decided I'm not going to come here and lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you about things I am not doing. I am going to practice so that you can also see. And once, like, results start coming later, I will come here and give you my testimony. I tell you, this thing I started, like, I decided to take this route, and this is the results that I've gotten. I decided to change my ways in this way and this way, and this is the result of that. So my point today is, be easy on yourself and don't be so rough on yourself. You're starting to change your life, and you're going to encounter a lot of resistance. Like I said, you're climbing a hill, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for you. So can we discuss the tools that we are using to maintain that? We already told ourselves that we are going to align ourselves with everything that we need. So today I want to touch on something I had posted in a short video on YouTube, and that is my first tool. Actually, I do not want you to mistake the journey we are taking to be like it's a journey for us to meet God on the other side or at the end of this journey. I want you to realize that God does not require you to take a journey, a whole process, to go back to Him. He's the one who is supposed to help you with that process of changing yourself, or He's going to change you into who He needs you to be. The only thing you need to do is take God. When you take God, or when you embrace God and decide that you're going to do according to His will, you surrender your will and decide that I will do what God asks me to do. And I'm not saying what God wants me to do. I'm not talking about just what the Bible says. There is so much contradiction between even the Old Testament and the New Testament. So instead of, like, I'm not telling you not to read the Bible, read your Bible, but be so close with God that you don't have to go through a book to hear what He says. You can tune into your inner soul, or in your soul, and hear what God tells you. Meditate, pray, and ask Him to give you peace. And you know, the only way you're going to be able to hear God is when you surrender your will. Because if you're asking Him for a certain thing, or you're asking Him to give you a revelation on something, whether it's a prayer item, or it's clarity on something, but you have already made a decision even before He gives you that, you're not going to hear His voice, because you're already, like, the voice in your mind is just going to scream what you want. So my first tool is obviously God. He's going to make this journey so easy for you. Even when it's hard for you to pray, just trust that He knows you and He's hearing you, and do not at any point think that you are not clean enough to be with God. God is the one who is going to clean you after you have accepted Him. So this is not a journey back to God. It's a journey back to yourself, or to the who God created you to be. That is what we are trying to find and trying to achieve, so that at the end of the day, like, God is going to use us for what He created us to be. You cannot do God's work if you have not worked on who you are from the inside, and let go of everything that does not match the person that God created. So the first thing, please embrace God, whoever God is to you. If you take God, whether it's Allah for the Muslims, or whatever higher power you believe controls your life, seek its help. You cannot do it alone. As a human, you're going to fail so many times, and you have to have someone who, like a bigger being, who is taking care of you and even helping you through this journey. You cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. So that is the most powerful tool. Even before we continue, that is the most powerful tool. So the second tool is routine, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to include in your routine, which is actually the real tool. Routine is just a word to include all that. Like I said, the reason why it's hard for you to move from one particular version of yourself to another is because the older version is so easy for you to do. There's very little resistance, because that is something you've done all your life, or most part of your life. So when you're changing, you're used to the same routines, you're used to the same like mind thoughts, you're used to the same thoughts, you're listening to the same people, you have the same friends, you're going to the same places. So you're going to have to adjust your routine so that it can fit the new you. And what I want you to include in the routine that will automatically raise your frequency and maintain you in the frequency is, first of all, when you wake up, before you even touch your phone, have a gratitude list. Have a gratitude list. I'm going to tell you today that there are so many times I woke up feeling like you just feel like you're so lost, and you like you're so far away from your dreams, and you have a lot to complain about. And then you first start to realize how blessed you are. You start counting your blessings, and all the negative thoughts that you had, they disappear. They disappear like it's magic. So start having a routine of gratitude, whether it's evening, actually at any point when you're feeling down, start counting your blessings. And the beautiful thing with your mind, it starts attracting the same things you're thinking about. You can choose your thoughts. I think I mentioned this in a previous episode. You can very much choose your thoughts. We think that thoughts just we own the thoughts that pass through us, and we maintain them as ours. Sometimes a thought is just passing by. Why are you taking it to be yours and holding it like this? And then it disturbs you the whole day, and that is not, it's not your reality. It's just a thought that was passing by. And then you held on to it. So choose your thoughts. And when you start being grateful, you start seeing so much more coming your way. Like you start being grateful for good health. You realize how much more you can achieve by just having good health. The reason you're able to even go to the job that you're going to is good health. If you have a job, however much you think that it's not, like it doesn't match what you want, that is a job. A lot of people are looking for jobs out here. Be grateful, and so much more is going to come. When you start telling your mind that you're blessed, you start believing you're blessed, you start attracting more blessings. When you start thinking about the things that are not working in your life, your thoughts keep getting more reasons for you to be sad about the things that you don't like about your life. And that is how you end up being depressed, and you end up living so miserably, and you cannot even tell. And gratitude, I'm telling you, gratitude changes your mood like this. Like when you, that song that says count your blessings, name them one by one, like count your blessings, count even the slightest things. Your mind is going to flood with all the beautiful things that God has done for you. And then you're going to realize the problems you are complaining about are so small, complaining to how much, compared to how much blessed you are. And then the second thing I want you to include in your routine is affirmations. Affirmations are good, but please use them in the right way and align yourself with those affirmations. Don't come and tell yourself that you are blessed and you are loved, and then walk around feeling like you're not loved, or like living like someone who is not loved. You tell yourself that you love yourself. You tell yourself that you love yourself, and you're working towards being the best version of yourself. That is trying to control your mind. And then when you get out of your house, you do everything that is against what you said. That is not going to raise your frequency at all. We said frequency is determined by what is in your soul, and then what is in your soul, your brain conceives it, and then when your brain conceives it, you do it in terms of your actions, and that is how reality starts to catch up with you. So when we talk about affirmations, please don't just go on Pinterest and get affirmations which are related to maybe a situation. Start creating your own affirmations. Yes, as you begin this process, you can take affirmations which are maybe related to what you're working on. If you're working on your money side, whether it's how you manage money, you can get affirmations which help you affirm or remind you that you live in an abundant world and money flows to you easily. If you're trying to work on your mental health, that is like the main focus for you, you're going to get some. But once you've gotten the hang of how affirmations work, then start custom making your own affirmations. Let your brain come up with affirmations so that it can even believe them more. When you're reading an affirmation, it's like someone telling you. You see, it's someone telling you, and you repeating it so many times until you believe it. But when you create it by yourself and you start believing it, it works miracles. Please don't just go online and pick other people's affirmations. Sometimes, like, that is so tailor-made for them, and sometimes you just pick an affirmation and you don't know, like, how it's even applying in your life. So take affirmations and take them seriously, and as you tell yourself, make sure that you're rewiring your brain. Rewire your brain so well that you, like, you're not even going to recognize yourself on the other side of this healing journey. The third thing I want you to do is to read, whether it's one, like, just take one book. I'm not even going to tell you to read a lot. Just take one book which you like, from the title or from what you've heard from people. It feels like it can speak to you on what you're working on, whether it's mental health, whether it's your finances. There's so many books, even free books online. If you don't have, you know me, please ask me, I will send you books. There's a book that changed my life forever and I will always recommend it. It's called You Are a Badass. It taught me so much, by Jen Sincero. Oh my god, I maybe have butchered her name, but that book has changed me so many times. I've read it and read it and read it and read it and read it, and I'm still going to read it tomorrow. Like, it has very good paragraphs. Like, you can even read one chapter and it gets you through so many situations. It changes your mindset. It has really changed me. So make it a habit, at least in the morning. Rewire your mind. That is the best time before you go out and hear so much crap from people. Please take your time to rewire your mind in the morning. As you teach your mind to be grateful and to see the good in life. You affirm yourself of who you are, and you remind yourself who you are, and you rewire your mind to always think positive thoughts. Always think positive thoughts. Also, read from people who have achieved that, and people who can help you get, even if it's one page or one paragraph or even one chapter a day. 10 pages. One page is a bit of lazy. Please read just like 10 pages or one chapter a day. And then the last thing, like the last most important thing I want you to include in your routine is exercise. It does not matter what kind of exercise you're doing, whether it's running, whether it's moving, just move your body. Depression hates a moving body. Do you know, I don't know whether this, I don't know whether this is why exercises work, but I think this is why exercises work, or working out works. It is so hard. It is so hard. And in the process of doing it and trying to convince yourself why you're actually doing it, I think that is what changes you. And it's like, you have to convince yourself to do it. Before kwanza you get used to it. And as you lift, well, as you run, those people, I have never lifted weights. I'm not going to come here and lie to you. But as you run, or as you stretch those hands, and you're feeling painful, even maybe like from there are some that I do in the morning sometimes, and I feel like, oh my god, why am I doing this? But as you do that, your mind kind of relaxes and you start thinking beautiful thoughts, and you tell yourself, you know what, I'm not just doing this as something to pass time, but I am actually building my life, and it's going to pay off someday. And then the second tool was routine. We started with God and then routine, and now I'm going to remind you to embody who you are. Do not forget, as you write your affirmations and as you speak out your affirmation, please remember to embody everything you say, and who you're trying to be. You remember that you already are that. She's inside you. You just need to align the inside with the outside. Align what is inside, and when you've cleaned your spirit from everything that you know is not pure, and everything you know that is not aligned with you, when you purify it, the voice of God becomes so clear. And once you start aligning what you hear from God, from you and from your soul, and you embody it, it becomes easier. It becomes so much easier. And then restart as many times as possible. Restart, like if you have to restart every other week, restart. You don't owe anybody an explanation. If you fail, stand again. Stand again. Like the beauty of humanity is that we are so fluid in nature. Like you can be this person today and you can be totally a different person tomorrow. You have the freedom to do everything. If this one did not work, start again. Start again and do not do the same things that made you fall. So those are the tools that I'm using, and I've told you again and again, I am on this journey. I'm recording it, and I'm going to, even if no one views, by the way, I'm going to look back in the future and I'm going to see how it helped me. I'm going to even sometimes I watch my own videos and I realize that I am learning from them. You know, when you're speaking here, it's so different from when, like, when you're watching, it's different. Sometimes you're talking and some thought just pops up in sound imetufanyia ile kitu. So I think the last point you had was when I was saying um, it's different for me when I'm watching from when I'm talking here on YouTube. So basically, I am my first audience. I am my first audience or my first fan. Anyway, guys, I really do not take it for granted when you watch these videos. I know self-help is self-help kind of content, and self-help books are not very popular. So for you to like interrupt your day and watch even 5 minutes of my video, I do not take it for granted. I am so grateful to God for you, and I pray that you have a beautiful September. I pray that you have all your, like, everything in your list for September is going to be answered. And as you pray and as you include God, may He hear your prayers and may He bless you abundantly. I pray that you are going to live September very abundantly and you're going to be aligned with everything you want. So have a nice time. Until I see you next time. Bye bye. I love you guys.